episode number 141 of Window Treatment Friday Live. And if this is your first time here, welcome. This is a series that we've actually been running for 3 years now, and it is where my friend Kim usually joins me, and I take apart a window treatment topic, be that pleats, mounting systems, types of blinds, best things to do for challenging windows, whatever the topic may be. We take that topic, we pick it apart, we pull it back together, we share our wins and losses as it relates to that topic, all in the effort to keep you educated and perhaps a little bit inspired, but ultimately wanting to prevent you from making the same mistakes that we have made in the past. So, today we are actually going to be talking about IWCE. If you are not familiar with IWCE, it stands for International Window Coverings Expo. It is an annual window treatment conference and really the only window treatment conference that is suitable for any window treatment pro, whether you are a shop at home, a workroom, a vendor, an installer, anybody who does business in the window treatment industry. This conference is for you. There's also another conference usually taking place in the fall that is called Custom Workroom Conference. As the name suggests, it is mostly targeted towards workrooms, but is also very much, I should say, other trades and other members of the window treatment industry are also very much welcome there as well. Anyway, so back to IWCE. Just want to click something here. Back to IWCE, it is the conference that I, as well as thousands of other people, attended in April of 2023 is where we are right now. And I wanted to share with you some of my major takeaways from this conference in case you were not able to make it. I know several people who have done their version of recap, and everybody has different opinions or different viewpoints or have seen different things because the conference is just hands down too big to see and hear and be part of everything. If you didn't have a chance to attend this year, I would really encourage you to do so next year. Next year, it is in Dallas, Texas, and it is, I believe, the second week of April. But you can check out more about all of that at International Window Treatment Conference if you Google it. All right, I am going to toggle over to my presentation. I'm going to get minimized to the right-hand side corner, and I hope that you stay with me for the next few minutes as I share my takeaways with you. So, just wanted to show you some really cool fabrics from one of our favorite vendor. It's called Unique Fine Fabrics. Gary Krupnick, it happens to be the rep that services the Pennsylvania area where we are located. And I know these fabrics are sold everywhere around the country as well. They are very reasonable price point and they are 99% in stock. So we have quite a library of these books in our studio. And it was also great to see these guys at the show on the showroom floor. Next, the one product that I was really excited about is this smart drape from Norman's. Norman's is a very famous, established, I should say, vendor in the window treatment industry. We usually use them for shutters, and I usually think of them when I think shutters. What I was surprised to find out is that in addition to shutters, they do carry many other products, hard goods primarily. And this particular product was new to me. I was told that they introduced it in 2022. Somehow I missed it at the IWCE last year that I entered. Like I said, it's not possible to see everything. And this is why I really like this product. Okay, this is a vertical application, which means that anytime you have a sliding glass door, anytime you have a French door, anytime you have a really big and long window, the natural thing to do is to go for a vertical application. What does vertical application mean? In the past, 70s, 80s, vertical blinds were all the rage. Now, here we are in 2023, vertical blinds are way, way out. I don't remember the last time I installed one. So anytime we have a client who is looking to cover their sliding glass doors, it usually presents a challenge. part of the reason is that what's available on the market is the type of shade or even a soft treatment that covers the glass or the door or the opening, I should say, fully. So you can either have it halfway or full way, or whichever part of increment you're covering, that increment is fully covered. There's no way, there's no slats, there's no way to tilt it, there's no way to walk through it. There's a great product in the market called Luminette by Hunter Douglas, which is a vertical made out of fabric. It does have vertical louvers. However, it has fabric, sheer fabric on the front of the louver and on the back of the louver. So unlike vertical blinds, which kind of dangle and make a lot of noise, but you can walk through them if you wanted to, Luminette does not provide that functionality. Well, Smart Drape by Norman does. It is a combination of your regular vertical as well as the Luminette. The regular vertical is that it has the vertical slats. In this case, they're not vinyl, they're not wood, they're not clunky. they they are made out of fabric, so they're very soft, and they have the sheer fabric on the inside of the treatment, so the side of the treatment that faces the house, but each slat and each fabric piece that covers that slat is separate. So the second picture that you see here is how I was able to completely open them and walk through. So very interesting product. I think somewhat revolutionary, if you ask me. And I have not seen anything like that. They have different colors, they have different textures. It operates very easily. It is applicable to traditional environments as well as transitional, as well as modern. It is a very pretty look, just like a Luminette, and it is a much more functional type of treatment, unlike the Luminette. It also is at the a more economical option than a Luminette. So if you're not familiar with this product, I suggest you go on Norman. Maybe it's norman.com. I don't know exactly what their website is, but just Google Norman blinds or Norman window treatments, and you will be able to see this product. It is something that I am seriously considering getting a sample case for, so that next time our customers ask for, what are your ideas for these sliding glass doors? We don't kind of cringe and say, there's really not that much. We actually have a really good and interesting product to show them. So this is something I discovered towards the end of the show, and I was really excited. All right. Next, I wanted to show you a couple of hardware collections. This particular one happens to be, I think the left one is from Forest, the right one is from Orion. Both are very well-known brands in the industry. It was really good to see them as well. They're well-established brands in the industry. By all accounts, they don't have to be necessarily at the show because a lot of people know them and carry them. And at the same time, it was really great and comforting and validating and inspiring to see even the established brands being at the one and only show that is targeted towards everybody in the window treatment industry. I have to tell you, I recently installed a Forest track, motorized, sliding, like regular traverse track, and I was really pleasantly surprised. Not because they've ever disappointed me or they've ever done anything wrong. I'm not sure if I've never installed it in the past or they improved or never paid attention. Probably not the latter, because it was very difficult not to notice how quiet the motor was. So it was a traversing motorized track by Forest. It comes in huge expanses if you wanted to, and it also comes curved. Just like you see at the bottom of the left picture, that track is curved. They can track that, hardware, the decorative hardware is curved. They can also curve the track too. So, and it was so quiet. When I was pressing on the remote, I was like, why is nothing happening? Only a second or two later, realizing that the drape is actually moving. That's how quiet it was. If you guys have ever installed low voltage, especially Lutron roller shades, you know what quiet means. And that's how quiet that track was. So next time you're looking for a motorized traversing track, definitely give Forest a try. All right, next I wanted to point out a few trims. I saw a lot of trims in the marketplace, and a lot of them were very textured and very fun. Even the embroidered trim that you see on the right, it wasn't just like a flat embroidery. It had texture to it, it had dimension to it. And here, what it was, there's actually a ribbon or grosgrain tape that was going through the embroidery. Everything that I'm seeing in the marketplace as far as this type of trend, it everything is going towards dimensionality, towards more of a 3D type of feel and touch. So nothing is really flat, nothing is 2D. A lot of it is just has a lot of depth and texture to it. And these trims only show that. All right, a quick commercial break here from my recap. On an off chance that you don't know, maybe you've lived under a rock for the last 7 years, our fearless industry leader, Luann Nigara, has a terrific podcast called A Well-Designed Business. It is on that podcast that the window treatment series was born, after which Kim and I took it onto this visual platform of YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, where we can show you pictures. But it originated, the window treatment Friday series, WTF, as we lovingly like to dub it, originated with Luann's podcast. And if one podcast wasn't enough, she decided to do a second podcast, and this one is called Window Treatments for Profit. If you are a window treatment industry, this is a must listen. So whether you get your podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or whichever other platform, I really encourage you to download Window Treatments for Profit. It is a podcast targeted specifically for window treatment pros. And I am humbled and privileged to have a recurring weekly host seat. Is that what we call it? Yeah, guest host seat for a series that we call Vita's Tip in 10. In short 10 minutes, I give you a small but oh so mighty tip on how to run a better, more profitable, more organized, more efficient, more productive window treatment business. So make sure to download this podcast and start listening to it. We are on episode like 150 plus. We've been doing it for over a year. There's a whole library of really great tips out there. So make sure to not miss them. All right, and speaking of our fearless leader, Luann, who happens to be my business coach as well as a dear friend, she delivered a stellar keynote address. Part of her message in that keynote address was to attach emotions to your goals. And what she meant by that was that it's not enough to say, I want to achieve X. And it's not even enough to have the SMART goals. And what are they? They are, I don't even know, it's measurable, attainable, make sure to attach time to it. There's a whole acronym for SMART that's escaping me at the moment. And so let's say you want to start working with a certain type of client, or you want to learn a certain technique, or you want to hire people, or you want to get more organized and get your systems in order. That's a great goal to have. And of course, you also need to make sure that you assign time to it. I'm going to have this type of client by the end of the year. And then it's also great to have action steps attached to that goal too. In order for me to have the X type of client by the end of the year, I'm going to call 20 of these types, and maybe one of them will decide to do business with me. What Luann did in this keynote address is that she took these SMART goals a step further. And she taught us how to attach true, sometimes raw emotion to wanting to achieve that goal. So it's not enough to say it to yourself. It's not enough even to declare it to the whole world. If you're kind of loosey-goosey about it, sort of like, yeah, I kind of want it, and I know I'm saying it right, and I know I'm doing all the right things, but I don't really feel it. Like it's not radiating through me. I don't have the electricity going through me when I think about that goal. That is the emotion that Luann was talking about. And if that component is missing for you, and you're wondering why you may not be achieving the goals that you're hoping to achieve, perhaps that is the missing piece. I have to tell you, for me, anyone who's been listening to me here, and if you're the first time listener, I will do a super, super quick version of the story. 2 years ago, in my then rented office, we had a really bad electrical fire. It was so bad that the entire building, I rented half of it, was deemed uninhabitable, and I moved my entire business operation into my house. Yes, into my house. I do not have a big house. I do not have anything, not nowhere near what oftentimes we decorate and do for our clients. Mine is very standard, nice, don't get me wrong, very nice, but very standard house with and there's a family of four and a cat and a dog. And I moved my whole operation with 5 people in it, with fabrication and sales and the whole thing moved into my house. And so, long story short, we've come full circle 2 years later. And a week ago, we had a grand opening of our new workroom and studio. What I've done is I have purchased the then rented building. I purchased the entire thing. It is 2,500 square feet. I rehabbed it, gutted it, renovated it, and now we're in this beautiful space. Okay, so that's kind of like the nuts and bolts of the story. My goal last year was to create a home for my business. That was my word of the year. If you're familiar with that whole initiative to attach one word to your entire year, mine was home. I wanted to create a home for my business. I also wanted to take back my home for my personal life too. But most importantly, I wanted to create the home for my people, my seamstresses, my staff, my installer, everybody. And so I wanted it so bad. I couldn't see anything other than that. My everything that I did was attached to that goal. If I needed to do research today and do nothing else, then that's what I did. If I needed to go and drive someplace super far for whatever reason, I did that. If I needed to meet with people 10 times over, not exactly with any kind of certainty that it would lead anywhere, I did that too. If I needed to hire a lawyer, I did that. If I needed to put a bid on something, I did that. If I needed to figure out how, if I needed to do something today and then figure it out later, I did that as well. I did so many things last year that stretched me to where I have never been before because I really wanted to have my new space. I really wanted to have my home. And most importantly, I did not give myself another choice. There was no alternative. There was no way out. There was no way to do it differently. It is the only thing I knew, and I just kept putting one foot in front of the other and then the other in front of the one before. I was taking one step at a time without having a grand big plan or not exactly sure exactly how I was going to get to my final destination. But I knew in my heart, in my soul, in my gut, everywhere, in my whole being, I had this electrical feeling that I was going to get it. And I had such strong, incredible electric emotion attached to it. And that's why I think a big reason why here we are in our brand new workroom and studio, loving life, enjoying the business, seeing our clients, and really now recognizing the silver linings that finally manifested, appeared, happened out of the big tragedy that happened to all of us 2 years ago. So, my friend, next time you create a goal, it's not good enough to just make them smart. The measurable, the attainable, the timely. What does S stand for? It's escaping me. Maybe somebody on Instagram, maybe you guys know what it stands, remember what S stands for. What I want you to do, what Luann taught us to do, is to feel it and want it so bad that you cannot see it happening any other way. And that is the missing electrifying piece that will ultimately get you over the hump, especially when things get really, really tough. So that was a very, very good lesson and a terrific takeaway. All right, next takeaway is I taught 4 different classes, you guys, 4 classes. Yep. And one of them was window treatment trends. And so for this for this presentation, I put together a whole bunch of trends, and most of them had to do with window treatment specifically. And it was a really great presentation, if I may say so myself, but only I say it now here because I've really gotten terrific feedback from a lot of my students who came up to me afterwards. The takeaway that I wanted to share with you that I got is a very specific and extensive research that I did for this presentation. And what will surprise you is the trend that I researched has nothing specifically to do with window treatments. It has to do with our new technology that is imminent, that is already present, and it will only be developing further in our industry, in many other industries, in our industry specifically. And what I'm talking about is artificial intelligence. I know there are a lot of feelings attached to it. I know there's a lot of bad, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of gray areas, and all of that we all will be navigating together over the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years as this technology develops. In the meantime, I have come to understand, realize, embrace, and love the fact that the technology is here and the technology will revolutionize and completely disrupt our industry. It may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen next year, but it is coming. And the faster we understand and embrace and enjoy it, frankly, the better off we will be and further along we will get in our businesses. The quick example that I gave my student was this. Here is my own family room, and don't mind the burgundy curtains. No, they are not on trend. It is the classic case of shoemaker without shoes. I've been meaning to change them out, and of course it's just been too busy. Don't mind the mess. I just took the picture just the way it was without any kind of staging or anything like that. And then I went into the softwares. There's 2 great AI softwares right now for our industry. One is called Visualizer, and the second one is called DALL-E. And I said, give me a version of my family room in the Victorian style. And this is what it created. I mean, you cannot possibly look at this and say that it is not downright amazing. It is incredible that, like that, within seconds, this technology can give us this kind of inspiration. Now, will it replace us, the window treatment pros or the interior designers? I would like to sit here and say no. I'd like to say so unequivocally and with conviction. The truth is, this is a very interesting and very exciting time for us all. What I am loving right now, what I am embracing, is the type of inspiration that it gives us and the types of tools that it gives us to carry our work forward. In addition to Victorian style, I also asked DALL-E to give me the version of my own family in the modern style. And this is what it produced. Again, I think the result is quite wow, inspiring. And I was really impressed. So it is a trend that is coming down our way. It is a trend that has nothing to do with necessarily motorization or the whether maximalism or minimalism is more or less on trend. It doesn't have anything to do with specific pleat or style of the drape. It is a technology that is rushing forward, breaking into our lives, and will be ever so omnipresent in the next few years. And so I'm really excited about it personally, and I hope that our industry embraces it and uses it as much as possible. All right, another quick commercial break, you guys. I want to tell you about my VIP experience. If you are a window treatment pro who is wanting to elevate your business to the next level, if you want to scale by establishing systems, by hiring people, by understanding what it all takes from the financial burden standpoint. This is a in-person, private, 2-day strategy session where you and I sit together eyeball to eyeball. I walk you through all of my tools. We work on your business, and then I hand over my project management um, tool software, my digital templates for quoting soft treatments in our industry. I hand over my processes and workflows, my 100 plus page SOP binder. I give you everything through this 2-day intensive experience. I would love for you to go on my website, vitaliainc.com, and check it out if this is something that you might be interested in. All right, and the final thing that I wanted to share is just the people. I mean, the people that I have connected, reconnected. These are my friends, my colleagues. I've known them for a few years. Some of them have been my students in the Luen University class. By the way, if you are not familiar with Luen University, it is definitely worth checking out, luenuniversity.com. It has a whole roster of classes, as well as 2 classes specifically for the window treatment folks. There's a 7-step make a friend sales process if you need help on the front end. And then there's my systems driven operations, the operational backend class. So on the left is my friend Amy Baradell from WindowWorks Studio, North Carolina. On the right is Amy and her partner Amy, my wonderful friend Nikki, my other business bestie Jill Ballou. So it was just so amazing to see all of these people. My friend Nikki, again, wonderful people from behind the design, Jessica and Melissa. They are a terrific recruitment and a talent finding and human resource and processes agency. They do a lot of things specifically for our industry. They have found all of my people, most of my people on my team. On the right, we see our wonderful director of the WCAA, Renee. It was really terrific to see her. So it was just really an amazing time to reconnect with people, meet new people. So again, IWCE next year. Please make sure to join all of us in Dallas. And when you do, come up and say hello to me. I love seeing everyone. All right. Before I let you go, I have a free gift for you. It is called a 37 and a half window treatment ideas for you to steal swipe and use immediately on your next design project. It is a downloadable, curated lookbook filled with inspiration and education, and you can get yours on vitaliainc.com. And so I want to leave you with a couple of contact information pieces. My friend Kim, who is the co-partner at WindowWorks, if you are in the New York metro area and you are looking for support with your window treatments or awnings, make sure to give them a call or send them an email at all of this information here for you. And if you are in the Philadelphia area, then Vitalia Inc., my company, is your one-stop shop, your go-to white glove level service exclusively for interior designers ready to fly first class in the world of custom window treatments. We would love to be that support for you. So give us a call or email me, text me. And until then, you guys, I am working on the next episode of Window Treatment Live, Window Treatment Friday live, and I can't wait to see you here. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's a whole backend library of 140 episodes where we talk about all things window treatments. I am sending you my best. Thank you so very much. Come join me here every Friday. And until then, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.